Alright, you guys know what it is. Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. 6 things we learn. It is another victory. Leicester City 0, Chelsea 1 in the FA Cup quarter-final, meaning that Frank Lampard's Chelsea in his first season as Chelsea manager are into a major competition semi-final. The FA Cup semis will have Chelsea's name in the hat. Whether the draw's going to be done, surrounded by a bunch of people or not, I've got no idea. But Chelsea are on their way to Wembley. We might not be able to go to Wembley, but what you can do is witness Chelsea winning football matches on a frequent basis here on the George Benson football channel. So if you're not yet subscribed to this YouTube channel, I'd like to ask you to do so. I upload videos nearly every single day talking about Chelsea, and today we're going to go with Leicester 0, Chelsea 1, with 6 things that we learn. A series where I analyse the game that we've all just witnessed, and I bracket things into things that are good in green boxes, things that could be improved, but I'm not going to sit here and slate it too much in a yellow one, and bad things in a red box. Now, according to you lot in the chat of my live stream for the game, I was watching the match and you guys are watching along with me, you said that you wanted to see a blue box added to 6 things we learned. So, we want a blue box. You guys are saying it. We want a blue box. Okay, you know what? You'll get a blue box. Here it is. Without any further ado, we're going to introduce the blue box today, and I want you guys to hit the like button to celebrate the brand new addition to the series. If we can hit 10,000 likes, then you guys know what's up. You guys know the drill. The blue box today, which is the man of the match, the player of the match, I'm going to give it to Christian Pulisic, because yet again, even though he didn't get on the score sheet, he forced a huge save in the first half out of Kasper Schmeichel, and he was Chelsea's most direct player again. Every time he got the ball, he was looking to ghost past the Leicester City defenders. He was looking to get into positions where he could get shots on goal, and particularly in that first half from Chelsea, we looked very, very pedestrian. We looked very mundane. Whenever we did have the ball, we were giving it away, but whenever Christian had the ball, I felt as though something was going to happen, and in terms of the feeling of energy that I get from Pulisic, it's very similar to that of Eden Hazard. When he has the ball, I'm on the edge of my seat, or in this case, on the edge of my flipping bed watching the game, because I think he's going to do something special with it. And again, he played 72 minutes today. He came off for Ruben, who didn't really get into things again. I'm not too sure if I'm fully on board with the whole Ruben on the wing thing yet, but we'll have to wait and see. But the first ever blue box on the George Benson football channel for 6 things we learn goes to Christian Pulisic. I think overall, since he was introduced to the game against Aston Villa, we have seen exactly what he can bring to this Chelsea team, and his attacking qualities are on show, and I think he's only going to get better between now and the end of the season. So the next box, we're going to go with a yellow, and I don't really want to be too negative because Chelsea just won the game and we're into the semi-finals of the FA Cup, and everyone is very, very happy, hence why I'm wearing my favourite hat, Billy Gilmour. Let's talk a little bit about Billy, shall we? He had 2 games before coronavirus came in and took our Chelsea away that blew our minds. Billy Gilmour was Billy Esther in the middle of the park. He was fantastic. He gets his first minutes today against Leicester City in the Cup, and I don't think it quite worked for Billy. I think he looked off the pace. I think that when he was passing the ball, it was quite often misplaced, and I think he was actually overran in the middle of the park, as my voice just cracks there. It's been a very long week here on the GBFC channel. I had a party before I watched the game today as well, if you didn't know. So, Billy, I think it was quite a difficult game for him to get involved in because Leicester City are very powerful, they like to press very high, and I think Billy kind of got swallowed up within that midfield. But I've given him a yellow, not so much a red, because I don't want people to get on this bandwagon train of slating Billy Gilmour, saying that Chelsea fans overhype him. Every person, particularly after this coronavirus pandemic, everyone's allowed an off day, and we shouldn't be rating Billy Gilmour's future at Chelsea based off of one half of football in an FA Cup tie at Leicester. I don't think it was his best, but I've given him a yellow box because I know that Frank Lampard will have seen this, and again, Frank was an absolute genius today. I moved from box number 2 into box number 3. Tactical genius, mastermind, Frank Lampard. We are seriously seeing, since this restart, exactly how much quality Frank Lampard has as a manager. His pragmatism, his ability to be able to read the game, See what's going well for Chelsea. See what options are available on the bench. There's a very big reason why Chelsea were the team to say, we want 9 substitutes available. It's because he knows that within this Chelsea squad, there are so many talented players in different positions who he can call upon to change a match within the match, which is a really key trait for a manager to have in order to be able to change the game dynamic for Chelsea. Things weren't working very well. I actually said at half-time that I felt that we were very lucky to actually go in and not be behind. So despite forcing Kasper Schmeichel to make that save from Pulisic, I think that Lampard saw that we were being overran, made the substitutions early. We saw a triple Lampard substitution at half-time, and we move it into box number 4, the man who won the game for Chelsea with a brilliant volley. It was a lovely cross from Willian. I didn't want to give Willian a green box today. I thought he was very good in the second half again, showing why potentially he may just sign that 2-year extension to stay at Chelsea, despite some people's opinion. Ross Barkley, I will get to the point eventually. Ross Barkley is box number 4. Whenever you win a game 1-0, it would be very foolish to not put the goal scorer in his own box in terms of the 6 things that we learned series. Ross, I thought, was, even though he kind of ruined a few creations for Chelsea in the second half with counter-attacks, I think that the goal was so beautifully taken. That ability that Ross has to be in the right place in the box at the right time, it's something that we have seen throughout the years from our manager, Frank Lampard. And I think that what Lampard sees from Ross is an ability to change the game in an offensive sense. We know that Ross is very good at retaining the ball within possession, but the goal was at just the right time for Chelsea. The ebb and flow of the game kept shifting. 1 minute Leicester are in control, then Chelsea are in control. And it took a moment of brilliance from Ross, a beautiful volley, to make it 1-0. Kasper Schmeichel, we know he's a good goalkeeper. It was going to take something special to beat him, and Ross could have doubled his tally late on in the game, but for a brilliant reaction save from Schmeichel, he didn't really know anything about it. But Ross Barkley gets in there again, and I think that what we saw from Ross today was something similar to that of his form before the coronavirus, where he turns up with goals, big goals in big games. He scored in the 5th round, he scored in the quarter-final, and Ross the Boss Barkley is going to be leading that train for Chelsea in the semi-final of the FA Cup. Now we move into box number 5, and I want to give a big shout out to Kurt Zouma, who I thought was absolutely gargantuan in the second half for Chelsea at centre-back. I wanted to give Rudiger a red box for the majority of the game. I didn't think that Rudiger had the best game. Again, I felt like defensively he looked a little bit sloppy. When he was passing, it wasn't really that great, and I thought that Rudiger was the weak link in the Chelsea back line. I don't think Emerson offered very much either. I think he looked a little bit void of confidence. But Zouma was an absolute man mountain in the back for Chelsea in that second half. When Leicester were trying to press to get an equaliser, Zouma was big, coming in hot with the blocks. And I think that Kurt Zouma could well be one of Chelsea's main centre-halves, probably alongside Christensen in the rest of this season, be it in the FA Cup, because we're still there in the last 4, or alternatively, the Premier League as well. So, Leicester 0, Chelsea 1. It's been very good. We've got 5 boxes so far on the screen. And I want to give box number 6 to Mateo Kovacic, who I thought as soon as he came on, it completely changed the game for Chelsea. And what we saw was the Kovacic that we have known throughout this whole season. He's probably been Chelsea's player of the season on the whole. And when he came on, we started to control the game in the middle. I bring it back to the yellow box. I think that Billy Gilmour in the first half wasn't really maintaining the possession well enough for Chelsea. His ball retention wasn't good enough. Chelsea were frightened to keep hold of possession in the first half. We kept trying to get rid of the ball as soon as we had it. When Kovacic came on at half-time, and what we saw in the second half from him was his ability to hold the ball, to drift with the ball, to go forward with the ball, maintaining possession for Chelsea to be able to create chances from the middle. And I think that Mateo Kovacic changed the game. Different gravy. Chelsea win 1-0, and we are through to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. So those are my 6 things that I learned from the game. You guys can see them all on the screen now. As always, I would love to hear what you guys have to say, what the 6 things that you learned were in the comments down below. Leave me a little comment, hit the like button if you did enjoy this video. Chelsea, we're on a little steam train right now, and it just keeps rolling on past every single team that we play. Remember, we've played Man City, one of the top teams, the previous Premier League champions before Liverpool took the crown the other day because of our victory. And we've also played Leicester, another team within the top 4. And Chelsea have now won 3 out of 3. And the positive train continues, and I want to see you guys here for the journey. Subscribe if you're new. I will catch you in the next video tomorrow. See you later. Bye-bye.